baby. We got another team builder here. Week 4 of the PTL against Trogaholic and the Vancouver Tapu Konucks. It's a good team pun name. I've like messed up this video like 6 times already. It's fine. So this is week 4, as I said. We are currently 2-1 plus 6 after a 4-0, a 3-0 win, and then a 1-0 loss. So we're doing all right. Last season in the NSTL, we did play Trog week 3, and we beat them 4-0. It was part of my good start last season. It was good prep, good play overall. I made one mistake that cost me a differential point. So it was overall, I was happy with that battle, but it's a new season, new teams. I actually don't know his record. I think he's 1-2. He might be 2-1. We'll have to find out. You'll see it on the graphic that I make. So here we go. Immediate threats on his team. I honestly didn't see anything specific, but as you can see from my colors here, I just have a lot of yellows. I was not sure what he wanted to bring this week. I was like, Aegislash did seem like a pretty good bring, but it's yellow because that's like my priority threat. So I have an Arcanine, I have an Nidoking, sort of. I have Celesteela. I have answers to this Aegislash, and it makes where it's like I think it's probably coming, but I'm not super worried about it. Sharpedo is kind of like a retroactive one where water and ice more or less hits my whole team. I have Mega Altaria that isn't going to take too much from any move Sharpedo wants to really go for. But the rest of my team is neutral or weak to water. So I have 3 weak to water actually that I'm bringing. So it's like Sharpedo's kind of a big threat. Terrakion, same thing. If he's speed boosting and he has like Earthquake and Stone Edge and stuff, that Earthquake Stone Edge hits my whole team. So it's like, yeah, I could intimidate him with Arcanine. What's Arcanine gonna do? I have to rely on Mega Altaria. Mega Altaria takes damage. So like these are kind of like his late game sweeping options that I need to be wary of. Not that I don't have answers to them, but that if things get chipped, I get screwed. And Mega Slowbro is just kind of annoying. I do have the Zero Aura, but it's still a Mega Slowbro. It could Scald Burn me. A lot of things could happen. So I basically just have to rely on Toxic Stalling that. But I don't know. So just get into the team I'm bringing. I'm going with, once again, Screens Diancie. Salazzle is actually kind of another threat because Salazzle Poison Fire covers my Fairy Dragon Steel 2-mon core. So obviously, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, and Sludge Wave hits Steela and Altaria, which are very bulky mons. So then that's bad. It's like, okay, then I have Arcanine that can't really touch the Salazzle that much. You'll see the set I brought. My Baragon, which will get outsped. Well, technically not because it's Scarf, whatever. And then I have Sanga, who can get a hit off, but then can take damage. So Salazzle is kind of a threat. So Diancie kind of checks that. I am more physically defensive. I'm just kind of mixed, but I can get Light Screen up. I can also get Reflect up. He has a pretty good mix of physical and special attackers that I expect to come. So something like Braviary or Salazzle a little bit, or even Latias or Ninetales. Like, he doesn't have a lot besides Sharpedo and Aegislash that can really mess up this Diancie. So I have a pretty clear path to set up screens. So I think it's a good idea. And then I just have Moonblast and Diamond Storm because basically besides Aegislash that hits everything on his team for at the very least neutral. So I have Diamond Storm to handle the Salazzle. I'm minus speed because the speed tiers don't really matter. I'm not going to outspeed a Torterra, and I'm going to outspeed a Slowbro. So that's fine. It's just it's a pretty standard set. Depending on what he brings into me, yeah, if he brings in Aegislash on Diancie, I'll have to switch out. But hopefully I can either get a Reflect up or already have gotten the Reflect up, stuff like that. So then next is standard Zero Aura. Comes again, yeah, who would have guessed? I outspeed his team by a mile with his Zero, 143 to 117, so I'm able to run Adamant once again. So I'm just EV spread to outspeed Salazzle. Not Scarf, obviously, which is like, sometimes it's risky. Maybe I can outspeed. I can't outspeed +1 Sharpedo. Don't lose your mind on that. But there's things to watch out for. Maybe Braviary Scarf, and I can outspeed a Scarf Braviary. Stuff like that. It's definitely stuff to look out for. But I also don't care about Braviary. So yeah. So I have Electric EMZ in case I need to get a huge hit off on anything. Basically, it'll still do a lot to Aegis Slash. I mean, I could do Fire or Dark, but whatever. So basically, yeah, it's like Torterra with. I don't have really anything for it with this, but I have switches for Torterra. Um, and Torterra is probably a decent chance to come because I have this Zeraora, which has a really good matchup on his team. Plasma Fist will probably kill the Salazzle most of the time. Knockout for Latias. Plasma Fist for Ninetales. Like, he doesn't have a lot of electric answers really besides that Torterra, so like Torterra kind of has to come. Um, so yeah, so it's like I can bulk up on something. If I have maybe Dancy screens up, maybe I can clean up his team. Who knows? But it's just this is the coverage I wanted. I could bring Fire Punch or like HP Ice for the Torterra / additional coverage on Aegis Slash or Sand Slash or Ninetales, but I figure the bulk up is slightly more pressing because Zero can either scare things out or just take a hit after bulking up. So that's fine. So now I'm bringing physically defensive Celesteela. Things like the Ninetales aren't going to hit me that hard anyways. Latias and Salazzle could be, obviously Salazzle has fire moves and Latias can have flame, Thunderbolt. But there's Terrakion I need to worry about. There's a potentially physical or special or mixed Sharpedo. Galvantula I'm going to be switching out on anyways. Salazzle I'm going to be switching out on anyways. Aegis Slash he's probably going to be more physical if he wants to be running like Shadow Sneak and stuff, but it could be mixed as well. And then there's like Braviary, which I know can come in on Sand Slash, which may try to sweep me in the hail. So I just felt like the physical threats to Celesteela that could stay in and hit it for damage needed the defensive bulk, and then the special attackers that'll scare me out will scare me out. I don't need to run max special defense for Salazzle. I'm getting the hell out of there. And then I'm running Flamethrower and Heavy Slam, basically so I can hit the Aegis Slash and everything else on his team. So like I said, Salazzle I'm going to switch out on, Latias, Ninetales, Terrakion, I'll get hit by Heavy Slam pretty well. Sharpedo I can kind of just stay in on. Braviary, whatever. And once again, his only thing his only grass type and his only ground type lie in Torterra, so if that's the only thing, there's one thing I can't leech seed. I could probably flamethrower it. He might leech seed me. That's I can switch around that. So and I could probably switch into Nidoking, which he's not going to Earthquake a Celesteela unless he's crazy. So I just felt like just a leech seed, protect, and 2 attack moves is going to be good enough for this week. I could set up subs, but I feel like he has enough things to like break subs if I go for it. And I'm just chunking away my own HP for a chance to have a sub up, and then I have to leech seed, protect. It takes up another move slot. Because if I had sub, I would also want protect. So, but I feel like I need these 2 attacking moves. So there we go. So then Nidoking's just coming scarfed. If I need to outspeed the Salazzle, the Latias, the Ninetales, the Dragon, the Galvantula, the Sharpedo before it gets a boost. There's a lot of things I can outspeed Scarf Braviary itself. So I feel like there's a lot of things besides if Terrakion isn't scarfed. But if Terrakion's scarfed, then it's not that big of an issue because then I have Celesteela for it. Close combats won't be doing over half. I can leech seed, get health back, stuff like that. If it is, then if it's not scarfed, I can outspeed it with Nidoking. Rock Polish would be the biggest, scariest issue. The Terrakion is a potential Z user, so he could, Rock Polish, get a Z Rock move off, and then and then eat through the rest of my team pretty easily, depending on Celesteela and Altaria's health. So but like I said, Earth Power, Ice Beam, Sludge Wave and Thunderbolt hits like everything on his team really well. It's just locking himself into move is kind of scary. I'm just running max speed. I don't want to risk anything. There's just I don't know, just things could happen. I don't know. I don't really remember why I ran double max speed, but I just figured I would just to be safe. I don't need the extra bulk that I can think of. So there it is. So now Altaria's coming, max physical defense. Same reason, Salazzle scared this thing out, so Dancy and Arcanine will be my switches for Salazzle. So, Latias, what's it going to do? You can't Dragon Pulse me. It's going to Psyshock me, Psychic me. I don't know which one of those he would bring. But, so this thing coming on Latias, Ninetales is also a threat, but like I said, Jet Jaguar and Arcanine both handle that pretty well. Galvantula, same thing. Galvantula is going to have HP Ice at best to hit me. Sharpedo could be special, but like I said, its best thing would be Ice Beam, and who cares? It's not going to do that much. And then you have Braviary, Sand Slash, Aegis Slash, Torterra. You never know which of those I need to hit a move on. So I have Hyper Voice and Flamethrower. I think I had Toxic and I got rid of it for Defog. I may have a Heal Bell. I had another move in that Defog slot, and then I saw him week 3 bring Galvantula with Sticky Webs, and I was like, fuck, I need Defog for Sticky Webs. Because my only thing that avoids that is Celesteela, and that's not fast in the first place. So, and I do not have a Toxic for the Mega Slowbro, and as you see, my other defensive guys do not have Toxic either. So that is a potential issue for, like I said, Slowbro coming in and setting up all over me. So that's just how that goes. But Hyper Voice and Flamethrower pretty much hits everything. Let's get besides Salazzle, and I'll get out on that Salazzle. But I could even hit like Sandslash, you know. So like yeah, Fairy Fire hits his team really well, and Defog and Roost just to stay alive and chunk things off. Like I said, physically defensive. I already explained it. And now I have specially defensive Arcanine with Intimidate, Toxic Flamethrower, Morning Sun, and Roar. So this thing is my toxic answer for the Mega Slowbro, because once I toxic the Mega Slowbro, if it's not like a rest set, then I can bring in something like Celesteela or Altaria to start trying to wall it and stay alive if it tries to set up. So it is kind of weird that this is my toxic user for a water type, but it's just like how the movesets worked out. I have Flamethrower. I could have been running Bulldoze over Roar because you know, Salazzle and Aegislash and stuff like that. But I figured Roar was better. Salazzle could bring Substitute. Anything could bring Substitute, and anything could set up, and then I could bring it in and just get it out of there. I don't have rocks this week, but I just like the idea of being able to roar things out and not having to try to attack them. And then Flamethrower, I'm just special because I don't want to be taking extra Flare Blitz damage. So as you can see, this thing is my switch into Salazzle because it's especially defensive, but it doesn't really have the move to hit Salazzle, but I can always roar him out. So it's it's not the best answer, but as like I said, basically my team is kind of set up where I have Mons built for like 4 Mons, and then there's 2 big threats that scare him out that I have another Mon that covers. So it's like it's just like a four Pokemon like rock paper scissors match where it's like there's 4 they beat and 2 they don't, and then this one it beats those 2. They they kind of overlap each other. So it is a pretty defensive team. Basically my only offense is Zeraora and Nidoking, but I just felt like these going defensive this week just gave me better options against his team. I had a lot of things like Starmie and Frostlass and Brizzion that I could run more offensive, but just wouldn't do much. I could run Zangoose, but there's a Terrakion there. What am I ever going to do to that thing? Quick attack it. So, obviously there's the close combat option. Yeah, I could run Zangoose Scarf instead of Nidoking, but I like Nidoking's coverage better. So that's the team. Secret spoilers at the last second. We have actually already had this battle, so hopefully I've done a good job of not making that obvious. And then, so from both our perspectives, the recording will happen right after this of the battle, so you guys can see how it went, baby. So thanks for watching up to this point, and here we go. Alright, everybody, here's the battle. I didn't think that one through. So, a lot of the things I was thinking of did come, like, in hindsight. Like, I was worried about Terrakion. I figured Latias has a chance. Aegislash had a good matchup. Torterra was, like, obligated to come between being a ground type and a grass type. Sharpedo was something I was kind of worried about, but I don't know if I don't say I, like, really prepped for it. And then there's Salazzle, so, anything I was, like, I prepped for his whole team, so of course anything he brought would have been something I prepped for, but like these ones were like in my mind. So I looked at his team and I figured Nidoking is a decent lead. I can kind of scout the Scarf from Terrakion. I can hit Salazzle if it wants to come. I can get scared out by Latias. I don't know. I don't really know why I led Nidoking. I just kind of clicked it. So turn 1, he's actually going to lead Torterra, so I don't know what he was predicting my lead to be, but here I'm just going to say, well, turn 1, there's no point in making predictions. I am Scarfed, so like he cannot speak. If he's running like crazy Scarf Terrakion, whatever, he may see this matchup and want to get rocks up. He may see this matchup and be Yachi Berry for some reason, and so it's like I don't want to worry about it too much. There's a chance I do a huge dent to Torterra, and Nidoking goes down, which could be bad, but I'm just going to click Ice Beam, and he's going to stay in, and I'm going to get a first turn KO. So I don't know what his plan was there, but it's a rough start. So now he's gonna go into Terrakion. I'm just going to go right to Altaria. I figured he's not going to Stone Edge a whatever the Nidoking is. So I mean, he does go Earthquake. He does Switch thing. He may be choiced. He may just want to get out of there. So I'm just gonna get my free Mega up and Hyper Voice into H Slash. H Slash. I go, okay, well this is scary. I don't want him setting up, so I'm gonna go into Arcanine. Well, we see this stance change. He doesn't set up. He just goes straight for damage. So we're playing it. Besides turn one, him staying in with Torterra, we're both playing it pretty safe here. So I am actually just gonna Toxic here. Predict this either the Switch or the King's Shield. Either one will help me out. I don't want to roar him into Terrakion or Sharpedo. So that's great. I do now have Latias Toxic, and he's going to see I'm defensive and go for a Trick as I go into Diancie, which is actually very good for him because now I am choice locked, and there's not much I can do. So he goes into Salazzle. I'm just going to go for a Reflect, thinking he might go right into Aegislash, but no, he goes into Salazzle, and it's the sub. So I go, okay, well, sub lefties, he's probably a Toxic set with Dual Stab. He might be Nasty Plot, though, so obviously I'm just going to stay in Earth Bar Break sub. Show him Scarfed, as he does Toxic me. So I go, okay, well, now he either has Protect, or he's going to have to switch into Latias once again. So I am going to do nothing to predict that. Tricked myself. I don't remember this game very much, even though it just happened. So I'm not going to bother making any predictions. I know Diancie or Altaria comes right in on this, but he goes for Psyshock, and it does pretty much nothing. So this is awesome. I get free Moonblast or Diamond Storm, neither of which are going to touch Aegislash. So, it's a bit of an issue. This time I'm going to go into Celesteela in case he wants to double to predict the Arcanine, but he goes straight for a Sword Stance, and I'm going to go, okay, well here comes the inevitable setup we all kind of expected to come, and he's going to go for a Shadow Claw at +2. It doesn't do half. So Celesteela is busted. Even if that critted, it really wouldn't have mattered that much. So here he's going to go into Salazzle because he realized he's screwed as I show off Flamethrower. So, it's another good switch for him. I don't have anything on Celesteela, but like I said, I have switches for Salazzle because I know it handles Celesteela and Altaria. So I'm going to go into Diancie. I don't know if here he predicts a switch or me to do something, but I'm going to go straight for the Diamond Storm. I'm not going to risk anything. And it's going to take out Salazzle. So, I mean, I could see why he made that play, but it just didn't work. I mean, he got damage off on Diancie, so it worked. So I'm up 6-2 or 6-4 now. And so that's good for me. So now he's going to go into Sharpedo and Protect. I don't know why he protected. He knew he outsped me. It's just kind of a weird play. So he's going to Ice Beam, and it does half, and I kill him with Hyper Voice. So I could have just roosted there to scout. I could have done something, but he was neither Life Orb nor Sash. So I mean that's good for me. If he was Sash, that could have messed me up. So once again on the Aegislash, I'm going to go into Arcanine as he goes for an Iron Head, not really able to predict because he can go for Sword Stance and Arcanine comes in. So Arcanine doing a lot better this week than week 2, we will say. So now I'm going to double into Nidoking as he goes into Latias, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting Terrakion, I guess. I guess, I don't know. Terrakion could still be Scarfed, so that switch doesn't totally make sense. And then we both switch again into our Steel types. So he's going to, and his ditch effort is going to start setting up on me. The fact that he's doing this, I'm thinking, well, there's a very good chance he is weakness policy, seeing no Life Orb, seeing no leftovers. So I'm still going to Flamethrower here for the very reason that it's still going to do, even if it did, 20%, I still have, Protect and 2 Leech Seed turns. So here I'm going to show Protect. I don't think I had Protected yet, so there's a chance I didn't have it. He could have been +4, killed me here, and then just hoped to Shadow Sneak sweep my team, but obviously it's not going to work. Because obviously, if he KO'd every mon, then Leech Seed wouldn't have procced. So that's fine. I'm gonna stay in here because I figured the best thing this thing could do is Thunderbolt me. I'm gonna Heavy Slam it. The toxic damage is actually gonna take him out, which means that's a kill for Arcanine. And obviously, this guy comes in. I considered protecting. I considered doing whatever in case he was Z, but I didn't want him to Rock Polish and then be Z. So I wasn't gonna think. And then I crit him with Heavy Slam. I don't know if that mattered. Obviously, it didn't objectively, but it could have. I don't know. So one of the things on that battle, that was the 6-0 for me. It's my first 6-0 between the NSD and the PTL. It's not my first 6-0 ever, but it's one of the first 3, I think. That was a really good battle for me. Turn 1 was huge that he stayed in with Torterra. The turn where he ice beamed Altaria with Sharpedo, he forgot to Mega the Altaria in his calc, so he was like, basically expecting that to either KO or do like 1,000,000%. And since he wasn't sassed or anything or Life Orb, like it's whatever. And then but like from there, it's like the chain of events. That was probably a differential play. Because, yeah, he switches out of Sharpedo. I Hyper Voice something on his team, probably the Aegislash, and then we already saw what happens with Aegislash, even if it tries to set up, still had it handled. So it would have been a few more switches. It probably would have led to, like, Salazzle still coming in if that thing was still alive at that point, which I don't think it was. And, like, Dancy probably would have gone down. But, like, yeah, it was just like, I think it was basically the same as last season. I think I prepped exactly how I needed to. I think he played like okay, obviously, but like turn one, letting Sharpedo go down kind of, and letting Salazzle go down. Letting Salazzle go down to Dancy was probably like the nail in the coffin, because the Salazzle was like the last thing he had that could kind of like fuck me up with like substitutes and hitting Celesteela and Altaria. So yeah, Zeraora did not touch the field in that one. I think Celesteela got two. I think I went 2-1-1-1. So like Arcanine got the Toxic. Altaria got the Hyper Voice. Nidoking got the turn one. Diancie got the Diamond Storm, and then Celesteela got like Leech Seed and a Heavy Slam. So yeah, Zera didn't touch the field. Actually, Celesteela now has, I think, 6 kills along with Zera. I think they're at 6. They have the same amount of kills, and Celesteela has like 1 more death. So they're both in the running for MVP right now. I was hoping to get Zera more KOs, but obviously I'm not gonna. I'll take the 6-0. That matters way more. So now we are 3-1 plus 12. I believe we have the best differential in the league. But there is a week. There's battles that need to be done. So like that's not like confirmed. It's just like out of teams that have done their week 4 up to the point I'm recording this on a Tuesday or some shit. And Sunday's the upload day. So there's still like 4 or 5 days to get those battles in. So no one's like really behind in D1, but yeah. So like I'm looking really good in differential. I have 1 loss, so as long as whatever teams I don't think it's spoiling up to this point, but there's currently 2 undefeated teams left. I won't say who they are, but those are the only teams that can really be ahead of me at the end of this week. Because everyone else, any of the other 3-1 teams have worse differential than me. So I'm looking good. I'm guaranteed 3rd spot, I think. I would have checked that again. So the really good start to the season. A good 6-0. Rough for Trog, but like I said, I think he's like 2-2 -1 now, so he's actually not in that bad of a situation. I think his first 3 battles were like kind of cushioned this blow, but it's fine. We very well may see him in the playoffs. Very well, neither of us make the playoffs. Who knows? It's week 4 out of 15. Could be anything. So whatever, it was a good battle. Exciting week for me at the very least. So thank you for watching, and tune in for next week. That didn't make sense. Bye.